Good evening, and welcome to the first closing ceremonies and finale. Are you guys pumped up? Let's give it up for Andy Caldwell, DJ extraordinaire up there. We're going to wrap up the 2015 championship tonight. But first, I've got a question for you. Did you have a good championship? That is the right answer. We had a great time here. All the programs, Junior First Lego League, First Tech Challenge, and First Robotics Competition. A great weekend in St. Louis. Also want to give a shout out to the Innovation Fair over there. Some great exhibits, some hands-on stuff, some good swag. All our sponsors. It takes a lot of momentum to get this championship together. And now, a few words from the closing ceremony sponsor, a longtime first friend, UTC.
Welcome to the closing ceremonies for the 2015 First Championship. United Technologies Corporation is proud to sponsor this year's closing ceremonies. Our company has proudly partnered with First Robotics for 20 years as we strive to inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers. Today, all across UTC, there are First alumni and mentors developing innovative solutions to some of the world's greatest challenges. UTC is a global leader in providing high-technology products and services to the building and aerospace industries. From technology to power the most advanced and energy-efficient jet engines in the world, to state-of-the-art rescue helicopters, to integrated, high-performance building systems that are safer, smarter, and sustainable. At UTC, we are making things better.
All right, a big shout out to UTC and all the sponsors there this weekend. They're here to make you have some fun. And we got some fun tonight. We're going to give some awards out. And to present those awards, please welcome onto the stage Dean, Woody, Don, and Bob Tuttle. But before we give out our first awards, we've got another sponsor. He's going to say a few words, and his job is out of this world. Technically, his title is Program Executive for Solar System Exploration for NASA. But as he likes to say, I'm just a guy who puts stuff on Mars. Please welcome Dave Lavery from NASA.
Open Gangnam Style.
Thank you. Just before I start, one quick comment I want to make. I am somebody who believes in motivation, and I have to tell you just about that last match that was over there. Lucian Junkin is one of the lead engineers on the Robonauts on Team 118, and Lucian and I have worked together for probably more than 20 years at this point. And just before that last match, I yelled over to Lucian, play like your job depends on it. Motivation does wonderful things. That's him. I want to take just a moment to talk a little bit about a project that we've been working on recently that I'm hoping is going to have a connection back to you guys. I get to stand up here every year, so I tell you what we're doing. And it's about stuff that's a long way away, and it's neat, it's cool, but the tangibility is sometimes hard to grasp, and I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit different. We've recently been working on a project with a company up in Redmond, Washington. You've probably heard of them. And they've developed something that actually is pretty remarkable, a new piece of hardware. And some people look at it and think it's a new display device, but it's actually much, much more than that. It truly is a brand new revolutionary step in the next generation of computing, and it happens to be that you wear it. It's a device called a HoloLens. You wear it on your head. It's a visor system. And they've been working on it for the past 7 years, and in the past couple of years, we've been working with them to develop a very specific application that runs on this wearable computer. And it's going to allow us to do some really cool things in terms of understanding Mars. And I've got a very short 90-second video that I'd like you to take a look at.
Hey, John.
Hey, Rob. Theme group meeting in 15 minutes. Why don't you get set up and I'll meet you on site in a few.
Sounds good. Good. Hey, John.
Hey, Rob.
Come here and look at these rocks from this perspective. I think we should place an APXS here.
Oh, okay. Nice. I totally missed that when I was just looking at the images. Oh, wow. Look at this outcrop. You really don't get a feeling for the shape of it when you're just looking at your computer.
How about a mass cam right about there?
Agreed. We could really use the higher resolution there. Okay, I think we're ready for the meeting. Let's see what Jane and Samir think of this.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys.
Let's review our APXS target.
Those look like good targets.
We should get some good data here.
Then we wanted a mass cam of this outcrop.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Agreed. Let's move forward with this.
I want to tell you just a little bit about what you just saw. First, and the thing that I want to emphasize the most, this is not, absolutely not, all just a bunch of CG. This stuff is real. It's real now. It's real today. If you happen to be at the Microsoft Develop Conference next week in San Francisco, you'll get a developer's SDK kit for developing applications for this device. This is not fantasy anymore. This stuff is real. And the neat thing about it, and the thing that's important that I want you to think about what you just saw in that thing, it wasn't just a display of another place, but actually allowed people to immerse in the environment. And two important things happened there. They were able to collaborate in that foreign environment. While the humans were actually distributed geographically all over the place, they were able to come together, meet, collaborate, decide, and implement their decisions. And their decisions were not being implemented just in the ether. It actually was generating commands for the rover sitting on the surface of Mars. That virtual environment actually was interpreting the gestures and understanding when we pointed to a certain rock and said, put an APXS here, that translates into motions of the robot that would then be uploaded and commanded for it. Actually pretty kind of cool stuff. And if we started to think, if we could do that with a robot 156 million miles away, you really ought to be able to do the same thing with a robot 156 inches away, which is about half the distance of an FRC field. Pure coincidence. So So one of the things that we're working on is this system is developed and is going to be put into implementation to actually control the rovers on Mars later on this summer. And then this device is made available as a consumer-grade device that everyone will have access to later on. Is the application that we are using to control the rover on Mars, that we're going to have an open public version of that available. We're going to open source how we make the robot commands happen. And hopefully, and I have to be careful here, my job is not to make promises about what will eventually go in the kit of parts. I don't make those decisions. But I know somebody who has a lot of influence. And when this device becomes public a little bit later on, there's a couple of phone calls we're going to be making back up to Redmond, Washington, to see what might be possible for a lot of very, very smart individuals to utilize this technology and do some really, really creative things with it. And there's a reason we want to do this. Why do we want to make stuff like this available to you and the public and everybody else? It's really simple. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what you guys have done here. It has everything to do with what you did to get here. In a couple of years, you guys are going to start going out and interviewing to start your careers. And you're going to be looking for employment. You're going to be talking to organizations, companies, government organizations, things like that. You may even come and talk to me. And I'm going to have to make decisions about, in the third row in the green shirt, I'm going to hire you. Up there in the red shirt, second row, I'm going to hire you. White shirt, fourth row, end seat, I'm going to hire you. Purple shirt over here, I'm not going to hire you. And the reason is because I'm going to know that you guys can do things like work in teams, be leaders of innovation. You can understand new technologies. You can design systems. You can program software. You can fabricate real things. You can honor commitments. You can keep to a schedule. And you know when to break a schedule. You can adhere to the basic laws of physics most of the time. You understand your limits, and you also know when to go beyond them. You know how to apply what you've learned, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to take some technology that was developed for Mars and use it to make Earth better. And if you do, I will hire you. Thank you very much.
And now, please welcome First President Don Bosey.
Good evening. As I was sitting down here before the show started, I thought to myself, who knew that 42,512 nerds could dance so well? So thank you all for an amazing first season. Every year, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of teamwork that you display, and the outstanding results that you deliver certainly speak for themselves. Just amazing. Now, before we wrap up our time together, I'd like to take this opportunity and shine a spotlight on a very special part of the First family, our Junior First Lego League. Woohoo! Now, this truly wonderful program is a result of an exciting alliance between First and the Lego Group, and we sincerely thank Lego for all of their outstanding support. This season, over 4,500 Junior First LEGO League teams from around the world, with kids ages 6 through 9, yes, those really cute little ones, participated in the Think Tank Challenge, where they explored where and how learning happens every day. So let's give our Junior First LEGO League teams a huge round of applause for all of their hard work. And a very big thank you to all of the coaches and mentors that help get our youngest participants inspired about science, technology, engineering, and math at such an early age. You're awesome. It's your mentorship and direction that allow our students to discover and explore their interest in science, technology, engineering, and math at such an early age. As with all FIRST programs, the cornerstones of Junior First LEGO League are core values that emphasize teamwork, learning, gracious professionalism, and community involvement. The enthusiasm and imagination demonstrated by these young teams over the last few days is truly inspiring and encouraging, as you all represent FIRST's youngest generation of future scientists, engineers, doctors, and innovators. You got it. We've seen firsthand how our Junior First LEGO League program captures a child's curiosity and directs it toward discovering the wonders of science and technology. And through that process, they come to realize if they can dream it, they can build it. So as we bring the 2015 Junior First LEGO League's World Festival Expo to a close, I'm so proud of our Junior First LEGO League students, as you've all demonstrated amazing teamwork, dynamic creativity, and sharp problem-solving skills. And we're thrilled to see what the future holds in store for you. Now I'd like you to watch a highlight reel of some of the special moments that we captured from our Junior First LEGO League participants this week, before you see them next year as our first LEGO League participants.
Did you know that more than 1,000 Earths can fit into the sun?
What did you learn with this project?
If you wanted to learn lots of new things about history, whether it be humans or animals, then you can just go to a museum. We learned about gravity.
Did you have fun?
Yes! Save the dolphins!
Are they adorable or what? Now, I consider myself very fortunate in that I get to attend many competitions and events for each of our programs every year. And I always make sure to walk around and talk to as many teams as I can and hear their stories, which are truly amazing. But all of the students that participate in FIRST programs are able to accomplish in such a short period of time is truly inspiring. But what really stands out to me more than anything else, when I meet students that embody the mission of FIRST and personify our core values and express it through their immense amount of passion and drive for STEM. And that's what our first award tonight is all about. It's now my distinct pleasure to present the first LEGO League Champions Award. This award recognizes a team that embodies the first LEGO League experience by fully embracing our core values while achieving excellence and innovation in both the robot game and the project. Now, this cool and collected team amazed all the judges with their passion for helping others learn basic life skills. Their robot is fast, and their team is curious. Somebody's got a clue. The first LEGO League Champions Award goes to Team 23850, Fast and Curious from Ali, Lebanon. Come on up.
And let's hear it one more time. The first LEGO League champs, 23850. Fast and Curious. And now, please welcome first distinguished advisor, Dr. Woody Flowers.
People love first. You guys represent good. You celebrate very hard work while being kind. You make your brain hurt developing really fancy high-tech machines while you're simultaneously helping others. You inspire optimism. Thank you for that. Now, I believe that you are the beginning of a big shift that will help make Dean's culture change really happen. And one of the reasons that I believe that is that you folks understand making fact-based decisions, you're in touch with your feelings, and you have a good concept of what fairness means. Facts. You've built robots that are natural machines. Mother Nature applies all of the rules all the time. So you know from personal experience that you cannot wish your robot to go faster or behave differently. You must do something in concert with the laws of the universe to make that happen. Unfortunately, too much of society does not yet know that. Unfortunately, some of our leaders have not yet figured that out. But you folks understand that unless you align your aspirations with the laws of the universe, you will fail. You got it. Feelings. You've been working in teams. You've probably had a disagreement. You've probably listened to some of your colleagues. You've probably apologized at least once during this season. You're listening to your feelings in a very, very important way. And one of the things that allows you to do is push back on some of the genetic hangover we have. Some of that Neanderthal brain is still sticking through. One particular example of that is tribalism. Evolution rewarded tribalism because a group of humans could be much more effective. However, in a violent world, the part of tribalism that has to do with brutality and selfishness was rewarded as well. So we humans have made it into a modern world where your intellect is the only tool you have for distinguishing between the good parts of tribalism and the really evil parts of tribalism. First emphasizes the good parts of tribalism. Thank you for doing that. You folks understand the basics of fairness. Now, fairness is a complex idea. It does not mean everybody gets an equal amount of everything. It means something much more complex than that. I think it means something about making sure that opportunity is spread. You understand that in FIRST, it's clearly not, quote, fair for rookies to compete with veterans. But in FIRST, that unbalance is fairly comfortable because we all know that the veterans always help the rookies. That's the beginning. That's the beginning of developing a delightfully sophisticated view of what fairness is all about. So because you guys understand fact-based decisions, you're in touch with your feelings, and you have a sophisticated concept of fairness, I think you're going to lead us to this democratic meritocracy that most of us want. Thank you. Now, First has awards that reward some of the kind of things we've been talking about. One is the Inspire Award. The Inspire Award is given to the team that judges feel embodied the challenge of the FTC program. This team serves as an inspiration to what the program and the youth's minds involved can accomplish. The team that receives this award has performed well in all judging categories and was chosen by the judges as a model for the First Tech Challenge team. The judges used match performance, observations during interviews in the pit area, the team's engineering notebook, and performance on the playing field in determining the winner. Here's what the judges have to say about the winner of this award. This team is really cool. They showed us how to go to school. They are all black belts in their craft, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the competition, they measure up, connecting to others to fill their cup. We have one thing left to ask. Is there really a cat in that hat? The 2015 First Tech Challenge Inspire Award presented to Team 3595 Schrodinger's Hat from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Being involved with First, has it changed any of your ideas about what you want to do career-wise?
Well, I want to become a computer engineer. This has inspired me.
I want to become an engineer when I grow up.
Who wants to go in a technical field because of what they learned from First? Yeah. All right, all right.
This is probably one of the best programs you can get into. Like, I would choose it over any sport, really anything, because you get to learn how to work with professionals, you get to work with your hands, you get to work on a computer, you get to pretty much do anything that this world could offer.
Who's gonna bring it back to life?
And now, please welcome the co-chair of the first board of directors, Bob Tuttle.
Thank you. Well, it's been a really exciting week for all programs, but I'm guessing there's a few First Robotics competition teams in the house tonight. We want to show you a little highlight film from your competition this week. You all did a great job, but there's one team that's particularly special in this program. At first, we honor the Chairman's Award winners above all else because they are the role models and change agents reaching out and transforming whole communities to show through their actions the lessons of teamwork, gracious professionalism and dedication, and all the good life lessons FIRST is really about. Teams who win the Chairman's Award at the championship become members of the FIRST Hall of Fame. And I'd like to invite Andrew Lukenbach and Courtney Hughes from last year's Chairman's Award-winning team, Team Rush, to come help present the award and welcome this next team into the Hall of Fame. Please come up. Here is what the judges said. This team knows that FIRST is more than robots. They are transforming their world and are role models for their school, family, community, and beyond. In a school where students struggle to find a future, this team reaches out to the youngest students to transform the culture from the bottom up and guide them to embrace STEM in their lives. Beyond their FIRST activities focused on youth, they also train elementary students on how to use computers in their classroom. This team is impacting their community now by applying their STEM knowledge and resources to put technology in the hands of those who need it, both locally and globally. They show how awesome robotics education can be. They share their passion through extensive media, outreach, and mentoring students from other countries. This team doesn't just build robots, they build family. They build character. Congratulations to Team 597, the Wolverines from Los Angeles, California.
We are FIRST Robotics Team 597, and no one outworks the Wolverines. We build more than robots. We build character. We love sharing the FIRST message at our school, within our community, and beyond. Since 2001, the 597 family has been committed to showing how awesome our robotics education is. Sharing. We share through volunteering, engaging our community in STEM education, and working with other FIRST teams. We are passionate about the FIRST vision by bringing a STEM culture into our community. Through various initiatives of sharing, the 597 family hopes to inspire, educate, and excite the community about 21st century STEM opportunities that help our global society create bridges of understanding and sustainable partnership. We continue to better our community through volunteering events such as the AIDS Walk, Gobble Gobble Gives, Run Run Walk for Women, Breast Cancer Awareness, Read to Achieve, Blood Drives, Canned Food Drives, math tutoring, and numerous robotics demonstrations at USC Home Football League, Kamikaze Expo, and Los Angeles Trade College, and many more events. Other opportunities include media featurings such as the U.S. News and World Report, National Geographic, La Opinión, and Estrella TV, including other media featurings. Sharing the FIRST vision and mission has allowed us to establish relationships with over 25 partnerships and sponsors from industry, local businesses, and university levels such as USC, Boeing, Raytheon, Amgen, NASA, and many others. Even then, the 597 family takes into account not only their local community, but their global community as well. With this realization, the 597 family has shared the initiative to advance technology and construct environmentally friendly schools, built from recycled bottles, to offer opportunities to further educate and inspire students in Guatemala. At FIRST competitions, we also secure the culture of safety by offering translations of the safety manual to international FRC teams. The 597 family is passionate about sharing. We support FRC teams abroad by sharing our resources and time so that they may overcome any difficulties and help them further spread the message of FIRST. In the 597 family, sharing is tradition. Although limited to what we have, it is quintessential for us to share with those around us. The 597 family is further innovating our school district educational curriculum that serves underrepresented, disadvantaged, and impoverished youth by launching the very first Manufacturing and Engineering Academy within our school and local educational institutions. No matter where we are, no matter how much we do, the 597 family has one goal that is always in mind: to share the message of FIRST and have fun while doing it. We are Team 597. We build more than robots. We build character.
You could be the greatest, you could be the best. You could be an engineer and a scientist. You can help the world, you can find a cure. You could be first, you could be the leader.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause you burn with the brightest flame.
Yeah, yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame.
You can go the distance, you could go the mile. You could build a robot in your own style. You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records you thought never could be broke.
Can't do it for your people.
And congratulations one more time to the Wolverines, team number 597 from Los Angeles, California. And now, please welcome FIRST founder, Dean Kamen.
Thank you. Thank you up there. Thank you. So I get to do 4 things. I think at least 3 of them are going to be fun. Actually, giving you homework is fun too. So 4 things are going to be fun for me. A couple will be fun for you. Number 1, I get to give out an award. I'll start with one and I end with one. 3 years ago, some of you were around then, a guy that's now a real part of FIRST, will.i.am, did a concert for us. And it's now become well known in the FIRST community that he's going to help us make it loud. And we decided to give him, very appropriately, the first year, the very first will.i.am Make It Loud Award. And in his honor, and because he's helping us get our message out further and faster, and promised to continue to do that, we told him that he had to come back last year and help us give out the second will.i.am Make It Loud Award. And we decided that each year we will continue to do that. We will identify a person or an organization that is helping us to grow faster. That's the theme this year: grow faster and be more well-known around the country and around the world. Last year, very appropriately, FIRST was given the opportunity, not by somebody in the entertainment industry like Will, but by a major iconic corporation that runs the most iconic parade in the world. And on Thanksgiving, the Macy's Day Parade was opened up by 4 of our robots cutting the ribbon and leading that procession down to Macy's. So they got that award. Amy Kuehl from Macy's came, and on behalf of that great company, they received that award. Will was back again. You might have seen him yesterday and this morning. A couple of weeks ago, I asked him to come to the championship to once again give the award. He agreed. It turns out that the recipient couldn't be here, but in a minute you'll see him. But Will did come back, and by the way, in his expanding commitment to help Make It Loud and to help First grow, he showed up yesterday, not only himself, but he brought a lot of his team from East Los Angeles, from a pretty challenged school. And he thought that if his teams from that challenged school could go not too far from here to Ferguson and meet the kids at another challenged school that's been in the news lately, they could maybe understand that First has a better solution to a whole lot of problems than maybe they've seen recently. And we brought Will's students and those students from Ferguson here yesterday. We introduced them to this community, and I can assure you they and will be back next year as part of First. And I think that's great. But since the Make It Loud Award is about highlighting somebody or some institution that is helping us grow, we decided this year it's not going to another entertainer, it's not going to a company. In fact, it's going to somebody in government. How many people here are from Michigan? So it turns out, not surprisingly, a lot of the things that happen in the world, both good and bad, happen because of leadership. And when it's good leadership, good things happen. And it turns out that the governor of Michigan has been making it loud. He had us in his State of the State address. I'd show you some of that. He runs around his state very proud of the commitment to First and very proud of the accomplishments of First and all of its great sponsors. I went to a few of their district events this year, and there were plenty of them. He did as well. I went to the state championship. He did as well. And when we found out at the state championship he wouldn't be able to be here today, we actually gave him the award there and asked him to make a few remarks that we'll show you right now to the 2015 Will.I.Am Make It Loud Award recipient, Governor Rick Schneider.
It was awesome to win the Make It Loud Award. It's a great honor. If you looked at the previous winners, it's exciting, but it's also something for all Michiganders. We should be proud we've done this together, about stepping up for our kids. First Robotics is a great path for an exciting future for them, but also for all the state of Michigan.
So, I hope that's a message to all the other governors that if you really want to help your next generation, you can use that leverage you have in your state, and if the rest of the states have the same kind of growth, particularly of FRC teams over the next few years, our goal of making First available pretty much to every school is starting to get more real. My second task, burden, privilege, you choose, is by tradition I get to recognize the new class of alumni, the new graduates of First. All the seniors here, stand up. So I have just a simple message about that and our alums. Our alums are a little different than other alum. And I'd just like to point out our expectations about you before we go on to the homework, my third task. I've gotten to go to a lot of graduations over the last years, listened to a lot of commencement speeches, given a couple. And typically, they're pretty much like this. You grads, you've earned this. Now go out and conquer the world. Be proud of what you did. You deserve it. You know what? Think about that message. I think First has a very different message for our alum. My message to our alum is, we don't need to conquer the world. The world's kind of on life support. The last thing it needs is to be conquered. It needs help. A few billion people in this world don't have water that's safe. They don't have electricity. Even in this country, our old infrastructure is getting a little fragile. The whole world's concerned, as it should be, about the environment, energy, food, security. Once people have education and knowledge and technology, the last thing they need to be doing is conquering the world. We need to be saving it. So I think the message of First, consistent with gracious professionalism, consistent with a cooperation. The message to the alums at First is, now that you have this incredible experience, now that people have committed so much, giving you this opportunity, you don't use that knowledge and that technology as a weapon. You use it as a tool. And you don't use the fact that you are this lucky and you're part of this club, this alum, or as Woody would say, this tribe. You don't leverage it as a privilege. You accept it as a responsibility. Like your mentors and the parents and the teachers. Your mentors, the parents, the teachers, the sponsors, they're not conquering the world. They've been giving and giving and giving to you. And now that you're drifting from being a student, a kid, a taker, you're alumni now. You're shifting to the other side, from the takers to the givers. Like your mentors, and like your parents, and like your teachers. You're moving to that side now. And so you're going to give back. And that's what we expect. That's what we expect from the alums. You go off to college and you come back and you give as a mentor. You go off to industry and you give as a mentor, as a sponsor. But if we all give back, the world gets richer. If we are all taking, soon there'll be nothing left, and people will be fighting over nothing. So, our alumni message, and you're now, all those seniors, alums, congratulations. We expect to see you back next year. giving us heart and soul and judgment and knowledge, just like you've been getting it all these years. So, that brings me to my third opportunity, homework. So, for me, it's opportunity. For you, do it. I think the message over the last couple of years has been focusing more and more on the fact that we need to grow first, faster. We now have so much data that proves that it works, that it is such a positive influence on the people that it touches. We can't not let the millions and millions of kids around this country and around the world that ought to be having this opportunity and sharing this wait year after year after year. So my homework for this year, consistent with making it loud, is we've got to find more ways to grow first. And that's not just for the alums, that's the students, that's for everybody. We have to consistently work at figuring out how to scale first to everybody around the country and around the world that would benefit from it. But it's a two-part homework assignment, because we've been looking at our own data, and it turns out that even with some relatively good growth, our growth isn't exactly equitable. It's not exactly fair by even our standards of, well, let's put it this way. About half of the people that ought to be involved in FIRST happen to be young women. Yet half of the participants are not young women. We should fix that. And the number of people of all the different minority groups that are spread around this country and around the world ought to be participating in proportion to their population in the area. But over the years, our growth, while it's each year getting a little better in the ratio of women, a little better in some of the other areas, it's not getting there fast enough. I think in part that's an unconscious, unintended consequence of the fact that we all have biases. We hang around with certain friends and we tell them about our great experience in FIRST and we invite them into FIRST. We hang around with a particular community. We have subtle ways of letting bias affect what we do. So I'm going to ask everybody to add to the already big burden of helping us grow FIRST faster, to figure out how to reach out to people that maybe aren't your neighbors or already your friends or already people that you generally interface with. Figure out how to reach out and reach into places that you know, if you didn't do that, they might not know about FIRST. Get a little out of your comfort zone and help us bring a more diverse, more fair cross-section of the world into FIRST. Because as we do that, everybody will come together. Because people with shared experiences, people that understand each other, people that work together, trust each other, they don't fight with each other. And as we've been saying for 25 years, FIRST really is, in many ways, a great model for the world. So let's, in addition to everything else we do, let's show the world that we can really bring everybody together. So let's try that. The final thing I get to do tonight is fun, and I think this should be fun for all of you. And then you get a concert. As you all know, for about 25 years now, we've given out 2 awards. The Chairman's Award to the teams that you just heard Bob Tuttle talk about it, that represent what we stand for. And we do that every year to make sure we don't forget that it's way more than robots. But from the first or second year, I realized FIRST would have no chance to go and grow if I couldn't also keep reminding our community, our tribe, of the extraordinary, sometimes it's people, sometimes it's companies, sometimes it's other organizations, that help us get to where we want to go. And we can't give those people the Chairman's Award because in many cases it's not somebody that even has a team. We've given it to cities, we've given it. So each year we try to identify a person, an organization that's done something extraordinary to help us reach the vision of making FIRST part of the culture and making it available as quickly as possible to everybody. The exciting news is this year, I get to give that award, the Founders Award, to somebody who's actually gotten it many times already. The trouble is I never gave it to him. And the reason I never gave it to him is he was hooked. And every time we were about to give it to him, with the great growth and great support we've had over the years, something would happen. And we'd say, wow, that individual or that company, the FIRST community is going to need to know what a great thing they did. So we'll give it to them this year. We'll give it to him next year. So this guy, that's a guy, has probably won this award about 20 times. We just never gave it to him. Last year, I was really close. We were on our way here, and somebody said, Dean, you realize Qualcomm has done this entire job? We're going to announce this year that they're... You're right, we've got to give them the Founders Award this year. Okay, and we did. But it's an award that goes each year from... It's one of those clocks, because I like time to remind us it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. Time moves on, and the clock moves on. Well, this year, though there's lots of people I'd love to give it to, we decided, no, this year, after he's won it about 20 times, we're actually going to give it to a guy that 20 years ago sent a check. I invited him as a local, major tech visionary running a company that was doing incredible things in the medical industry to the championship. It was small. It was in a high school gym in Manchester. He couldn't come. He sent me a really nice note apologizing that he couldn't come. He was busy growing one of the iconic medical companies in the world. But he sent a check. I didn't even ask him for the check. He sent a nice check. In those days, probably the biggest single check we ever got. Over the last 20 years, by the way, he's given us a total of about $5.5 million. But that's not the most significant thing he's given us. He's given us time, judgment. He's connected us with all sorts of interesting people. He's shown us all sorts of interesting perspective as we've grown. He eventually not only joined our board, but he became the chairman of our board and was the chairman of the board of FIRST between 2002 and 2010 for 8 years, the longest serving chairman we've ever had. He continues to give us great counsel. He continues to support programs that we really want to go forward with, challenge grants, rookie grants, longitudinal studies. He relentlessly focuses on preserving our values and letting the world know it. And he's always promoting the concept, which is, again, our theme this year, that FIRST is way more than robots. So finally, to John Abley, please come and accept the Founders Award.
Only Dean can make it sound like it's really great to come in second for 20 years. You know, I love you all, and the FIRST is just such a phenomenal family and culture. And you may not appreciate it as much now as you will 5 years from now, or maybe even 10 years now. It really is unique. It's not just STEM, of course, and it's not just Grace's professional. It's the integration of all of that that you are going to really appreciate over time. It's enormously rewarding for me and others, and there are lots of you out there who really love giving to FIRST because it's a gift in return. So I'm very honored, and congratulations again to all of you, because you've done amazing things. And as Dean says, go on out and do more. Thank you.
Somehow you know that it can be. Dreaming out loud will set you free. Inspire the world with all that you are. Give your everything and you'll go far. Don't ever give up. Believe in you. The world knows that you are. You know it too. Inspire the world.
Inspire the world. Have a great concert. Do your homework all year. We'll see you at the kickoff.
And now we're about to move on to the finale. Just a reminder that shuttles will run tonight till 11 p.m. Shuttles will run till 11. And to get things started, please welcome back Andy Caldwell.